My old iPad mount is going in the trash. I'm throwing it away. It is going goodbye. One, because it broke, so I needed a new one. But more importantly, I found one that I love and I can 100% recommend it. And the reason that I can 100% recommend it is because I've tried a bunch of stuff that just hasn't really worked out for me. iPads in the cockpit can be awesome, but only if they accomplish three really important things. First is sturdiness, both the sturdiness of the mount, like is it gonna break like mine did, but then also the iPad itself, does it protect it? Second is case compatibility. Is this thing going to work with a certain case? And then thirdly is mounting placement. So let me tell you what didn't work. I started out by using a yoke mounted iPad, which was kind of convenient in that the iPad is like right in front of you. It's right there, you can't miss it. But the problem I was experiencing was on landing. Anytime I was really trying to flare and anytime I'd really bring the yoke back, it kept hitting me. And so I was having to detach the yoke mount anytime I was approaching the final approach, which really became an issue on instrument approaches because I need the iPad flying the approach until you're at minimums, you bust out of the clouds, and then you're trying to detach the iPad. Like that shouldn't be what you're dealing with that close to landing. The only thing you should be thinking about is landing the airplane. So for that regard, for that matter, it was a total bust on the mount placement. So I'm not a fan of yoke mounts. So I switched to a different mount that was a suction cup to the side of the windscreen. And this was way better than the yoke mount, because now this passes the mounting placement test. It's in a very convenient spot. The only problem was the RAM mount I was using, it wasn't compatible with a case. I had to take the iPad out of the case to put it in the mount. And so it failed the case compatibility test. So, I've really come to realize how important it is to have a case on the iPad at all times around the airplane. You can't be putting in the case, taking it out of the case, all that stuff. It's just way too easy to drop. And when you're relying on it, particularly on like a cross country, and that's like your only way of having charts, like breaking your iPad is a mistake you just cannot afford to make. So it has to be in a case. Now, yes, there are some mounts that can work with thin cases, but then your mount and your case are two separate things, not really designed specifically for each other. So they may or may not have the right compatibility. But this new case and mount that I found passes all of these tests with flying colors. Sorry. Unavoidable pun. What are you gonna do? It's called the Pivot Case by a company called FlyBoys. Now, they solely do aviation mounts and equipment. They're not building stuff for motorcycles and cars and stuff, at least as of this filming. It's solely for aviation. And they do a bunch of commercial and military type gear, but now they've really been breaking into the general aviation market. And I've been able to try out this mount for the last several weeks to really try to battle test it in the cockpit. And honestly, I can say with confidence that I 100% recommend it. So first, I love the actual case. So even if you're not flying, the Pivot Case actually functions as your normal iPad case. And so it comes in two plastic pieces, and you put the iPad in the middle and you slap it together and it locks in nicely into place. I mean, and it's just very high quality. And so you're not just buying a mount, you're also buying a really nice case. They've got some cool colors. I decided to get black just to be kind of conservative, but in retrospect, they've got cool like blue and yellow and different things, but I really love the case. And so it really passes the sturdiness test, both for the iPad, but then also the mount, which I'll show you here in a second. Second, when your iPad isn't actually connected to the mount, it also comes with this hard cover that nicely attaches and detaches to the mount. And it's got a magnetic cover, real hard case on the front. This is bonus points on the sturdiness test. But then it also functions as a bit of a stand. And so if you're wanting to put it on the table and use in your flight planning, log into ForeFlight and stuff, it does that real nicely at different angles, and then you can close it again, no big deal. And then as soon as you're ready to put it into the cockpit, you just push a little pressure on the back here, and it just slides right out, and now it's ready to actually hook into the mount in the airplane. So I just love the dual functionality of this. Really keeps the iPad nice and safe. Now you might be thinking, hey Charlie, that's nothing new. So what, it's a case that also turns into a stand. Yes, but I promise that those also don't have the third part here, the third point that is the most important of all of them. And that's that the case here is actually specifically built for the mount, and it's super easy to attach. So we're walking to the airplane, we want to take the cover off, no big deal, and then it's got a bunch of different mounting options. This one is a suction mount here, just like you'd see in RAM mounts and other things, but you'll notice that the attachment here is a plastic plate, and that is the same plate that we use to attach the cover with here that slides nicely into the back. So I actually just leave this in the airplane, just attached there right on the side of the windscreen, and so it's ready to go. And all I got to do is walk in, attach it, it locks in place, and you can move it around if you need to, no big deal. And then when you're done, you just go grab it, pull it out, leave that in the airplane, you're good to go, and you can put your cover back on and you're on your way, and you never had to get your iPad out of the case or anything to where you can drop it and accidentally crack the screen and then you're in trouble on your cross-country flight or something. So I just love, and I really underestimated, until I used this product, I underestimated how important it could be to really have something that all goes together. Instead of just buying some random mount and then some random case, and you're like, I don't know, do they go together? Is it gonna be too thick where it doesn't really fit inside of the contraption? You don't have to do any of that. Like, all of this is built to work together. The other thing is that if you're really partial to like RAM mounts or something, this ball joint actually comes out. If I can, maybe we'll speed this part up. Okay, that took longer than it should have because I was trying to do it all in front of the camera. But you notice that the same plastic plate here that mounts onto the back of the iPad, you can buy a replacement ball joint here that's compatible with RAM mounts. So if you've got something that's already permanently attached to your airplane or whatnot, and you want to actually use this case with the plastic plate here, you can do that, and it just unscrews, and then you just replace the ball joint, and you are good to go. So this is all just kind of an all-in-one thing that, gosh, I just love it. I'm so happy I found it. If you go find 6 Delta Foxtrot today, you will find this mount in this case in it. Well, maybe not like exactly right now because I'm filming using it, but that was corny. Let's move on. The point is that this passes the case compatibility and the mounting test really, really well. Better than any mount I've ever used. Now, they aren't cheap because they're not cheap. You see what I'm saying? I mean, they're high quality products, so they're not inexpensive, but I really, really like them. And there's a 10% off coupon code. If you click the link down in the description, it'll automatically apply 10% off to your cart. Or alternatively, if you go to the website, you can type in the promo code Charlie, my name, CHARLIE, which I guess I didn't need to spell it. We can just put it on the screen. Putting promo code Charlie, or just click the link down below so that you won't forget to apply that discount. You get 10% off. Now, if you've been watching this channel very long, you know I really don't do that many product reviews. I'm just real selective about what I'm willing to kind of put my reputation on the line to some extent and say, hey, I really believe in this. I think if you choose to buy it, you'll really enjoy it too. So I don't take that lightly. So it took a long time to really kind of try to use this thing. I didn't just get it in the mail and then make a video about it. I've really been using it and trying to make sure, like, okay, do I really enjoy using this? Do I actually believe and want other people to use it? And I can say after using it for several weeks, I really, really like it. And so buy it, don't buy it, but it's in my cockpit. A lot of you ask, hey, what's some of the stuff you're using? And just genuinely, that's it. I use this pivot case now, and I really, really like it. So if you use the link down below, you get 10% off your purchase. Hope it helps cut down on the purchase price a little bit. But more than anything, I hope that this serves you in your aviation journey.